Welcome to Up at 11 with Kina. Today's special guest is someone who is extremely special to me for many reasons, and I'm going to try not to babble. We have the one and only Rona Neely with us today. So honored that she's with us. I just want to read her bio really quickly, and I'll have her add, or if she would like, to what I'm about to share with you about her. Rona is a true testimony of how God can turn your trials into triumph. She has overcome many unfortunate circumstances of her youth, including family poverty, physical and sexual abuse, promiscuity, and drug and alcohol addiction. Neely's story is dynamically anointed. Her story is guaranteed to inspire and motivate the young and old. Her mission is to unlock potential, ignite passion, and unmask the extraordinary purpose of the youth and adults. Rona is an author, playwright, songstress, wife, mother, entrepreneur, among many, many other things. And I'm just like, just cold chills and Holy Spirit and everything going on right now. She is truly amazing, and I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking from what I know, what I witnessed about her. She blows my mind often with the things that she oversees, with her gifts, talents, her creativity. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Rona, is there anything you would like to add for our listeners?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Kina, for allowing me to be a part of this special moment, this video. I'm just honored. I mean, it's just, that's all I can keep saying. It's an honor. I just don't even, I don't know why anybody would even want to interview me. It's like, really? You know, it's like, really? I'm Rona, and anybody who knows me, whether it's in my, my career or just personal life, family, friends, old or new friends, it doesn't matter. I'm Rona. And so I'm just honored that you would find it an honor for me to be a part.
I absolutely am. And I think that's what's so special about you, is you say it so humbly, so matter-of-factly, I'm just Rona. and you mean that. And you are, but you're also just a true testament to perseverance, to courage, and just faith, and having the stamina and the drive to continue to unveil the gift and the treasure that's within you. That's what it's just like, okay, what is she doing now? what is
the mind is always going.
Listen, I know, and I'm just like amazed at your time management skills, your dedication, your hard work. I just commend you. So let's jump on. Yes, absolutely. Let's jump on into what we want to share. Rona has so many things that we could talk about. We could talk about years, her youth, her youth academy. We could talk about her amazingly anointed family. We could just go. There's so many things we could talk about, but we're going to focus on her play today.
Okay, yeah.
Share a little bit about the play, Rona.
Listen, Kina, I'm so excited about this because it's not the first play that I've written. About 25 years ago, surprisingly, I wrote a stage play called Don't Get Caught Slipping. It was a play that we just, we did for a fundraiser for our community choir, FIC. And since then, I have not picked up the pen to write another play. It never crossed, I'm not going to say it's never crossed my mind, but I just never really had the motivation to say, okay, well, I'm going to write another stage play. But this one is very, very special to me because it is inspired by the true events of my life. So this play is if you know me, you'll see that, okay, wow, I knew these things about Rona, but I didn't know all that. Or you may say, I had no idea that her family went through all of that. But it means so much to me because it was a part of my healing process. And again, I never planned for it to even be a play. I just started writing. Because it was a part of the healing. It was a part of the process of, of cleansing myself of the pain and all of the disappointments and things like that. So it's super special to me, and it's called A Daughter Scorned. And even though my face is on the picture is on the front cover, I'm not the only daughter scorned. And so it's just very interesting. I don't want to give too much away until you ask me, but
yes. Yes, and I want to share for those local listeners, those who are able to come and see the play. Please take down this information. Go to www.eventbrite.com.
Yes.
We will put the link below under this post. The play is scheduled for Saturday, March 14th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be held at Yunts
Yes.
for Performing Arts in Fountain Inn. The address is 315 North Main Street, Fountain Inn, South Carolina, 29644. Again, all this information will be posted below. For those of you who are not far enough to drive, and trust me, it's going to be well worth the effort and time. It's going to be well worth the price that you pay for the ticket. Please bring your family. Come to the play. You will not be disappointed.
Right.
So on the other side of this short break, we're going to get into some questions with Rona.
Yes.
And we are back with our special guest for today, Miss Rona Neely, the one and only. If you're just joining us, we're talking about Rona's play called A Daughter Scorned. The play is coming up soon in March, so look down in the link below and get the information and find out how you can come see this play. You need to witness this. I promise you, you don't want to miss this. So let's jump into a couple of questions. Rona, give us a summary of the play. What is it about?
Well, just to start off, A Daughter Scorned is inspired by the true events of 4 women, mother, daughter, grandmother, and sister, and they all hold unforgiveness and anger towards each other because of like the abuse and all of the past hurt. But what they don't realize is that their hurt actually runs deeper than their present circumstances. They don't realize that it actually runs through generations of pain and resentment. And so these 4 women have more in common than what they realize. So it basically sheds light on the issues that we've tried to keep hidden for far too long. I mean, we know how that is, or you just sweep it under the rug, things are happening in the family, just don't talk about it, and so it's shedding light on those issues that we try to hide, and it just exposes. This whole play will expose. I mean, it's all about the exposure. I think we have to expose the secrets in order to be able to deal with the things that we're dealing with in our hearts. And so the unresolved issues that are swept under the rug of like abuse and abandonment and bitterness and hate, all of that is brought center stage. Not only are we pulling back the rug, we're putting a spotlight on it. Because what I'm really just tired of seeing, Kina, is people struggling with issues generation after generation. And a lot of times the things that we have dealt with, that we are dealing with ourselves, our parents dealt with it. Yes. Our grandparents dealt with it. And so that's what it's all about. So you'll see 4 main characters: Raina, who is basically Rona, and then you'll see Tasha, and then you'll see Bernice, and then Ida Mae. Those are the 4 main characters. And they just have their own personal issues that they've just really never shared with each other, but they resent each other to the core. And it's hard to believe. It's like, whoa, a mother would feel like that about her child, or, how is this healthy? And it's not. That's the point. It's not. But it's really interesting to see how it all unfolds. Just to kind of give you a little snippet of what it is, I'm just going to read the synopsis here. Raina's oldest sister, Tasha, summons her to the emergency room. And thinking that there might be an emergency with Tasha, Raina rushes to the ER to discover that her sister is actually fine. Is this another one of her sister's twisted little scams? Or just another way to get Raina and her estranged mother, Bernice, to finally talk? Well, regardless of her reasons, Raina can't see past the pain that her mother has caused her and caused in her and her sister's life. So the unforgiveness towards her mother has her locked in a cycle of rejection and abandonment and abuse. A tragic situation reveals that these women have more in common than they realize. Will Raina discover the truth about her mother? More importantly, will the truth set her free? Or will she find herself trapped in this cycle of bitterness and hate? Woo! You gotta come and see it. Listen, you gotta come and see it. It's gonna be absolutely amazing.
Listen, if you're listening, if you heard that synopsis, if I don't know if you're listening to the audio, if you're looking at the video, but if you have a pulse, then I know you felt that. I know you felt that. You have got to come. Please bring your family out to see this play.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to just go on to the next question because of course I want to have girl time and talk, but I'm
yes.
focused. Okay, that was amazing. Okay, Rona, what do you hope to accomplish by sharing your story? Such an intimate story. What do you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, well, I get that question a lot, whether I am, with the stage play or whether I'm, speaking at an engagement. I am always transparent. And my only goal is to help someone else. I've always tried to be very open and not hide anything about my experiences in life, whether, it's embarrassing sometimes. People say, that's embarrassing to be sharing those personal things. But here's the thing. I've already gone through that and I overcame it. So I can't sit and just, waddle in this pool of pity, and I can't just sit and be embarrassed about some choices that I made. I will tell anybody, anything that I've gone through, if I know that it is going to help them see their way out. So if my failure can help you succeed, then let's do it. Yes. That's what it's all about. If my mistakes can help save you some pain, let me share that. Let me open myself up like a book, because we can't do anything about the past. We can't change what we've done. All we can do is learn from that and move forward. And so if we can share our stories, the good and the bad. A lot of times when we say we want to give a testimony, we always want to get the good stuff. Mm-hmm. But see, it's a testimony that I'm still living. Yeah, I made a whole lot of bad choices in my life. We all have. And so if we can use those things to help better someone else, then that's what it's for. And so that's my goal with this play. I want people to come here. Yes, you're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to get mad. You might want to jump on some of the cast members afterwards. You may have like, well, I don't know how I feel about you. Here's the thing. I need you to leave inspired for change. I want to just give you goosebumps. I don't want to just make you laugh. If you leave there with just one thought of, let me call my mom. If you leave there with one thought with, let me call my dad. Mission accomplished. That's all I'm setting out to do, is to restore, to help families be restored to how God created them to be, what God wanted them to be. And I don't think God wanted us to be broken and dysfunctional. Amen. So that's what my goal is.
That's beautiful. Rona, what is the hardest part about being so transparent?
sometimes the hardest thing is because I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate about people. And so I never regret being transparent, or I can't say that there's anything hard about being transparent. But what's hard is when you lay your life out for somebody, when you make sacrifice upon sacrifice for the benefit of someone else, and they start questioning your motive, or when they take it and twist it and make it seem as though you were trying to get them to do something for your own benefit. I will tell people all the time, I don't have a dog in this fight. If I'm trying to help you, it's not for me. I mean, of course, it's going to make me feel better because I feel like that's a part of my purpose. That's a part of my calling as a teacher, as an educator. That's what I just do. I like to help people. So it's a part of my purpose. So of course, I'm going to feel better when I am able to see someone prosper. You know, if I'm able to give information to somebody that is going to help them grow or move forward. But as far as something, a motive that's impure, you know, or if someone says, oh, she has selfish motives about that, now that's when it kind of stirs me up a little bit, you know. You know what? Look,
Right.
So I would say that's usually the only time I just say, okay, Rona, you can't give everybody the same access.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I usually don't meet a stranger. And so that's a problem for me. I feel like I can just share it all if it's going to help you, you know. And so everybody doesn't have the same, shouldn't have the same access.
Yes. I totally get you, Rona. This week, actually, for our StarCast segment, which I think we're going to share the StarCast segment right after this segment, we're going to highlight Scorpios. One thing that we talk about on Up at 11 with Kina is astrology, the planets, the stars, and how it all connects and how it all plays an intricate part in us as individuals.
Yeah.
And Rona, like myself, is a Scorpio.
Scorpio, yes.
So, and we're going to highlight Scorpios this week because I have Rona on and I identify with her on so many levels. Scorpios they're transformative people. They are when they get into something, they get into it very deep.
Yes.
You know, and Scorpios like to talk about the hard stuff. And sometimes that's not comfortable for those around us.
Right.
You know, and like Rona shared, you know, people don't understand the motive, but we always want to talk about the elephant in the room because we know that it needs to be talked about.
Right.
So for us,
like y'all don't see that? I don't understand it.
Yes. Let's talk about this elephant in the room. You know, that's a part of how we were designed. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Scorpios. Let's just go ahead and jump into this week's StarCast where we're going to highlight Scorpios. And when we come back with Rona, we're going to ask her some more questions and talk about this amazing play right here on Up at 11 with Kina. Welcome back to Up at 11 with Kina with our special guest, Rona Neely, the multi-talented, multi-everything diva extraordinaire is sharing about her play with us, A Daughter Scorned. The play is coming up soon, Saturday, March 14th at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be in Fountain Inn. The address is 315 North Main Street. All the information is below in the links for you to go and purchase your ticket. You don't want to miss this play. So our next question, right before we went into the StarCast segment, we were talking about transparency and being transparent and how some people are uncomfortable with transparency.
Right.
Rona, have you faced some opposition from family members who don't want you to be so transparent? I mean, when we talk about hard stuff and it involves other people, sometimes it can be disruptive to people who are so open. So
right. Well, Kina, when I started writing, as I told you, when I started writing this stage play, it was not initially going to be a play. It was just basically me, you know, healing. I had gone to a healing retreat because I was clearly suffering from depression, I never even thought that I could see myself in a depressed state, because I'm like, depression can't even catch me because I'm this.
Yes.
And I found myself after a very explosive argument with my mother, my biological mother, very explosive argument. And I thought, after all these years of dealing with my mom and her issues with drug abuse and things like that, I was like, I'm tough. I can handle anything she bring it. You know, I'm so used to this. But on this particular day, she said some things that apparently penetrated my soul, and I didn't realize it. And I was going along and I'm thinking, I'm good. And then all of a sudden I kind of found myself not wanting to get up out of bed. And I'm like, what? Wanting to just walk away from everything that I was associated, like ready to quit my job. I love what I do. Ready to close the business. I love it. Ready to walk away from my twins and their ministry. Just anything. Didn't really see any, I didn't have vision for anything. I didn't know. I was like, what is going on with me? I literally thought I was losing my mind. And so I took the advice of some friends who I have trusted for a long time, because I don't trust people too quick. But I took I took heed, their advice, and I went to a place in the mountains, and I had a retreat for healing. And so when I started writing, like I said, it was basically a process of that. It was a part of that healing process. So when I started converting it to a play, because I say, well, God just set me up, because he knows I like writing. He knows I like drama. He likes stage plays. And so he knows I like the arts. He set me up, and I had to step into the characters' shoes, the characters being the real people who had hurt me, the people who had offended me, the people who had broken me. And so when I was able to step into those places, I didn't just know their story, I felt their story. I felt the pain. I felt the abandonment. I felt everything that they felt. And so that kind of started, tearing away a little bit of the stony heart and the bitterness and the anger. And I reached out to my mother after 2 years. So it was about a year and a half. I had just stopped talking to her. I was literally, here's one of my transparent moments. I said to my mother on that last day that I saw her, you don't have to worry about calling me anymore. I'm done. And when I say I'm done, I'm done. I said, as far as I'm concerned, you are dead to me. I don't need to come to a funeral. I'm burying you now. You are dead to me. So the things that you just said to me, let me go ahead and help you make that come true. You are dead to me. And I meant that with every part of me. I meant it. I had closure. I mourned her death.
Yes.
I did. Yes. I mourned the death of my mother while she was still alive. And so after a year and a half of me saying I'm done, like really, people ask me, how's your mom? I don't know. And really had no concern at all. So this is, to answer your question, when I reached out to her after a year and a half, after I started writing this and God set me up, and I'm, it's like, ooh, I don't want to feel nothing. I don't want to, and so, but I reached out to her, and I wasn't going to share anything with her because I was not using their names. I was not going to make it known that this was my life, because I feel like this is the life of a lot of people.
Yes, absolutely.
Experience these things. So I wasn't going to do any of that. Well, the conversation ended up coming up between me and my sister, who we were still talking. And my mom was intrigued. She was asking questions. And so I told her, and I said, I'm not using your names. I'm not. And so both of them, I was so surprised. They said, I want you to. I want you. My sister, I was so surprised. She said, I want people to know who it is. People to know, because it's actually going to help me with my healing process. She said, and maybe people will be able to understand me a little bit better. She said, if nothing else, my own children See, the cycle has already started repeating. Her children have no relationship. She said, maybe my children be able to see. You know, my mom, I mean, I'm 48 years old. And I know for at least 35 years, we've been trying to get her to admit some of her faults, some of her wrongs, some of her responsibility. Something, you know, it's like, you can't be living in this fantasy world to think that you did absolutely nothing wrong. Without any prompting, she just basically, she said, I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That quickly. It's like, we've been fighting for 30 something years to get you to just acknowledge. And you just come right and says, I was wrong. I want people to know. I want people to know. So I'm excited. They have blessed it. They are excited about it. They're looking forward to it. There's still some nervousness, of course, but they have blessed it completely, and they are looking forward to the work that's going to be done through it. So I'm excited.
Oh, girl, I'm over here tearing up. Listen, yes. You have to come see this play. I was privileged to get a call from Rona very early on. She wanted to have a script or just a reading of the script to assist her in timing things out, to get a feel for how the script would flow. I was so excited to be able to be a part of that. And let me tell you, day one, when we sat around her kitchen table and read the script, I cried, I laughed, I was overwhelmed. I went through so many emotions. Listen, you have to come see this play.
Yeah.
You have to be there. Next question, Rona. Of all your gifts and talents, which she sings, okay? She doesn't just sing, she can sing, okay? There is a difference.
Back in the day, maybe, but I don't know.
Listen, don't let her fool you. Look, she is unbelievable. Her entire family sings. She writes. She is amazing with children. She is just anointed on so many different levels. Of all your gifts and talents, Rona, which brings you the most joy? I don't even know if you can answer that question.
I know. I think the culmination of everything. I always try to pull in everything that I do or like to do into one. So it's hard to say, well, I like singing. I enjoy singing, but it's not necessarily my passion. Now, if I am singing with my family, or if I am singing with some kids, you see what I'm saying? If I can pull that gift, if I can pull all my gifts that you've named into one, then that brings me the most joy. So if I can have children and, you know, around me, and we're singing and we're doing like all of those things together, that brings me the most joy. I could care less about material things. Anybody, I like, look, I didn't even try to go get my hair done, but it's, I'm not a materialistic person. I like experiences. I like to see joy. I like those types of things bring me the most joy, is seeing other people reach their fullest potential, not just potential, but maximizing it. You know, when I see that, like something that's like, I'm just so excited. Like, I love it. I love to see people reach their fullest maximal potential.
Yes.
That brings me so much joy.
Absolutely. I can so see that. I can attest to that. Rona is such a gift. She is. You are truly such a gift. I'm so grateful to know you, to be connected to you. I'm so, so grateful. So, of course, in speaking about the play and speaking about healing families, when you talk about healing, when you talk about restoration, you can't help but think about God. You can't help but think about church. You can't help but think about the Bible and all of those things that have been instrumental in helping us as a Black community, as descendants of Africa, and helping us to be here, to still be thriving and growing and evolving as a people. So talking about the Bible, and I know your connection with God and scripture, I know that's a huge part in your growth and development and in your healing. And one thing we love to talk about here on Up at 11 with Kina is religion and scripture. And this is a question that I ask every guest on my show. And it may be, I don't know, some people think it's a hard question, but I just want to ask, Rona, if you had to take just one scripture from the Bible to carry you through the rest of your life, what would that one scripture be and why?
Well, I would, speaking on this topic, and talking about forgiveness, I would say the snippet, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Focusing more on the word as.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we want people to forgive us. But the as, it says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So I have to keep that before me because I'm working on that. God is working on that. And that's another transparent moment. Rona will hold a grudge. Now, I don't know if we can say that's just Scorpio, what? I don't know. But when I find that you are a disloyal person,
yes,
then I watch you for a long time. So I have to be careful, though, that I am not being unforgiving and judgmental, because I understand that about myself. I'm able to say, Rona, you can be very unforgiving, prideful, and judgmental. Let's just keep it real. Nobody wants to sit up there and be honest and call themselves judgmental. Yes. Nobody want to do that, but it's the truth. Truth is the truth. And so I have to remember, forgive others who have offended you. You have to remember that. So I just pull that piece out because it means so much. And we just say, forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors, lead us not into that. We just keep on like it's a nice old prayer. And no, you have to mean what you say. You forgive. You want God to forgive you as you forgive others.
Yes, that's beautiful.
There's a lot of scriptures that I could say, but focusing on this topic that we're talking about, I think very instrumental.
Yeah, it definitely goes very well with the theme, the overall theme of the play, which is why I think it's so vital that all of our listeners, tell a friend, share the link to the show, copy and paste that Eventbrite link below and send it to someone. I know that you know someone who can relate. If you can't relate, I know that you know someone. There's someone in your family who may have gone through some of the things that Rona has gone through. I can attest, like she said, there are many of us who are a daughter scorned. I can say that I am as well. I can so strongly identify with Rona's story, and just God bless you for shining this light, that we all need to take heed to, and I'll be blessed by each and every one of us. Okay, last question, Rona. What drives you?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. I think what drives me the most, and I don't know if it's necessarily good, but I always want to be better than the last generation. And I want to make sure that the generation after me that I create something so that they can be better than me. That is my constant drive. If I find myself doing, behaving just like the generation before me, if I find myself in lack, if I find myself in the same position, but a different circumstance, like different, same thing, but different, different, whatever. Different circumstances, but the exact same thing. I feel like I failed. I do. I feel like, wait a minute. why am I struggling with a light bill? I remember my grandparents having to make a decision. Do we pay the light bill or do we buy groceries? It wasn't it was a or. If I find myself in that position, I feel a little unsettled. I feel unstable. And so I have a drive. It's like, no, you have to always try to make sure that you are doing more than the previous generation. Otherwise, my grandfather and grandmother, my grandparents, my forefathers died in famine. If I am not standing on their shoulders, I failed them. I cannot fail my ancestors. I cannot let my grandparents down. I cannot. So that's my drive. And then when I look into the future and say, now, what am I leaving for my children and my grandchildren? What am I doing to help the next person who has nothing to do with me? Because, see, it can't even just be about my children and my grandchildren. That's selfish. It is my priority to make sure that they are set, okay? But I should also be thinking about my neighbor. I should also be thinking about somebody else's child. You see what I'm saying? So that's my drive. And like I said, I don't know if it's always good because I can just have too much drive that I don't know how to rest, and just enjoy the moment. And I'm learning to be mindful of mindfulness and the reason of just enjoying, finding that place of sanctuary and peace and tranquility and just resting and enjoying this moment. So that's where I say it could be the bad part of it, because sometimes I have too much drive.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you touched on that, because that's something that our focus is on for this show, is getting up, waking up, and staying up.
Yes.
How do we do that? How do we do that as individuals? How do we do that as families, as communities, and beyond? We are faced with a lot. We have a lot to deal with. We have financial responsibilities. We have to tend to ourselves emotionally and spiritually. How do we do that? What are the solutions to that? And Rona has touched on something that is instrumental. I think all of us can take heed and learn from her drive. That's something that I definitely personally am trying to implement more in my life. Drive, perseverance, dedication, discipline, implementing some disciplines in my life. I think that's something that we all can take heed to and learn from her. She's such a great example. Like I said in the beginning of the interview, I don't know how she does all that she does. It's like, do you have a clone? Are there two?
That's one thing you don't want.
Are there two Ronas?
You do not want two Ronas. Listen, that's what you don't want. I'm telling you, God said, I'm making one. That's all the earth can handle is one.
More than enough. Listen, you are phenomenal. You are phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim,
for being here. And I know you have other things to do. I look forward to having you on the show again.
Yes.
What might you have coming up? I'm sure you're taking a break after this.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, like you said, my family, we are so family oriented, very family oriented. Have 6 children and 7 grandchildren. So there's no such thing as taking a break. Mm-hmm. But I do plan on resting and just seeing what God wants to do next. I don't know if he has plans to do something with this play. I would love, I'm just going to be real honest. If anybody's out there, I would love to see this stage play in film. Mm-hmm. I would love to see that. It's definitely set up for film. It would be a great movie. People are already saying, I see a sequel. Like this definitely should be. And like I said, not just for me, but so that it can reach people, reach millions. I'm thinking, what I'm doing here is local. I'm doing a local stage play, and that's great. But I've seen God take small things as long as you are willing to do what he wants to do, because this is his vision, okay? But as long as you are a willing vessel and you're open to what he is wanting to do, I'm learning not to say no to anything that God says, okay? Because you don't ever win that. You don't ever win that fight. So just stop saying no to God. And so I would love to see it in film so that it can reach people all over the world, not just in Greenville, it's Lawrence, the Upstate. I need this to break cycles, break generational curses worldwide. So that would be my motive of wanting it to get into film. Mm-hmm. We do know that media is a great influencer. And so we need to have more positive things in front of people instead of just all the negativity, about ourselves. Mm-hmm. We need hope. And this play will definitely give you hope. Yeah. But he's already done it. You heard me say he set me up. Mm-hmm. But he said, it's like every single person in this cast. Mm-hmm. It's like, whoa, people saying, I never even had a desire to be in a stage play. One girl says, I never even knew you. I don't even know how you came across my timeline. And God said to me, you're going to be in a stage play. And she was like, no, that's not God, because I've never had a desire to be in a stage play. She said, and I promise you, it was like that same week, your casting call came up. She said, I'm like, what is this? I don't even know who this person is. Well, she brushed it off and it came right back to her. That casting call is today. She said it would not leave her alone. The casting call is today. She said, I had on my jogging pants. I was chilling that day. I was like, I'm not going to the cast. She said she ended up coming to the casting call. Let me tell you, she had no clue what this play was about. Had no clue. And when we started practicing, when she got her script and I gave her the history and the background and the vision, like she just broke. She said, oh my God. Oh my. I know why I'm supposed to be a part of this now. She said, every single thing in this play, I've dealt with it. This is me. This is me right here. This is me. Like, oh my God. How did you know that about me? So it's already healing the cast. I mean, we went to a healing service, we loaded up some 15 passengers and we said, cancel practice. We're going to this healing because I cannot allow you to get on that stage broken. If you are broken, if you have not been healed, or if you're not going through the healing process, you're going to minister brokenness. And I don't need you to minister brokenness. I need you to remember the pain without being in pain.
My God. So
I'm telling you, it's already doing a work. Oh my gosh, it's already doing a work. And so I'm looking forward to where it's going to go. I cannot imagine what God has planned for it. So we'll see.
Powerful. I feel it. I'm so excited. I have my tickets. I will be front and center.
Yes. Yelling from the stage.
My goodness. Yes, I will be there. I support you. I commend you.
Thank you.
I love you. And thank you so much for being here. And I'm looking forward to it. So
yes, Kayla, and when we finish this interview, we just need to talk.
We do.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Love you.
Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. Please join me next week and tell a friend, affirm with me today, I am worthy. I am an amazing expression of the Creator. I am healthy, whole, and productive. I am loved, supported, and protected. Stay up. Peace.